So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recite it the way it should be recited, and then we have to not imagine, we have to really visualize that you are coming into the Brahma Vihara. Okay, so that's the approach. So you can do it with open eyes, can do it with closed eyes, whichever way it works for you. Then we'll go through the meaning. So let me start the recitation. Karaniyamat kusalena yantam santam padam abhisamecha sakho ujucha sujucha suvachocha samudhu anatimani Santusakocha subharocha apakichocha sallaukauti santindriyocha nipakocha apagabhokulesu anunugid Nacha khuddham samachare kinchi yena vinyupare upavadeyum sukhino vakhemino hontu Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitattha ekechipana bhutati asavathavarava anavasesa Higavaye mahantava Majjimarasakanukathula Dithavaye adhitha ये च दूरे वसन्ति अविदूरे भूता वा सम्भवेसि वा सब्बे सत्ता भवन्तु सुखितत्था न परो परं निकुब्बेथ न अतिमन्येत कतचित् न कञ्चि व्यारोसना पठिगसन्न्या न अन्यं मन्यस्य दुःखम् इच्छेय माता यथा नियं पुत्तम् आयुषा एकपुत्तम् अनुरक्षि एवं पि सब्बभूतेषु मानसंभावये अपरिमाणम् मेट्टञ्च सब्बलोकस्मिन् मानसंभावये अपरिमाणम् Buddham madhocha tiriyancha असंभादम अवेरम असपथम हिट्टं चरन् निसिन्नो वा सयानो वा यावतस्य विगतमिद्धो एतं सतिम् अधिष्ठेय ब्रह्ममेतं विहारम् इदमाहुः दिट्ठिञ्च अनुपगम्य शीलवा दर्शनेन सम्पन्नो कामेषु विनय्यगेदम् नहि जातु गब्बसेयं पुनरेति. That's it on the recitation. So let's look at the benefit just as a layperson. If we were to do this, not having anything to do with Sotapanna to Anagami, what is going to happen? So it says, Yasanubhavato yakha neva dasanti bhasitam bhisanam yam hi chevanunjanto ratti divam antandito sukham supati sutto cha papam kinchina passati evam adigunopetam parittam tam bhanamahe. So we will go through what it is and we complete this. So now this can be sung 4 times. First time will be Sotapanna, and the second time is Sakatagami, third time is Anagami. Not applicable to Arhat because he is already in this what he is talking about. So this is the qualities what we need to develop. So through Sila, Samadhi, Panya, this is where we would be. And the end result of that is Anagami. If we are targeting Anagami, then we need to see whether we have exactly these features with us, or these what we can say properties, features, characteristics, attitude, whatever we want to put. So let's take one by one. Karaniyamatta kusalena. So kara is to do. Karaniyam is completely doing with mindfulness. The first thing that needs to come is sati sampajanya. Atta kusalena. So if we have the sampajanya, then we will only do the kusala. We will not be doing any akusala. That is, we'll be doing skill or good deeds rather than the akusala or the bad deeds. And when we are mindful, the indriya samvara has happened. That means that yantam santam padam abhisamecha. So yantam santam, a very key word here, just like when we look at vinyanam anidasanam, like that, or etan santam etan panitam, same. So that means here that one gets into a peaceful state. One gets into a real peaceful state when he follows. Padam is to step. So when he is mindful completely on what is happening, like we went through the chitta yesterday, on how consciousness plays duality. So having understood that, the person is able to see where he is walking. That becomes abhisamecha, sama icha. having a proper discernment or equality, no judgment. So he is in abhi, higher. Generally, we treat with differentiation. Now, knowing that everything is just a consciousness, we are now in abhisamecha. Now, once we are like this, karaniya matta kusalena yantam santam abhisamecha, how does that person be in that case? The person will be a sakka, friend, uju, straight. Suhuju is upright, not mincing words, not saying something which shouldn't be said. Suvacha. Suvacha. Vacha is to speak. Su is good. Good speech. Buddhu. It's very, there is no proper English word for Mudhu. Is basically is innocent and he's soft. Innocence brings in softness. Very soft. Anatimani. So, mana is not there. Atimana. Atimana is excessive pride or rather ego. The person doesn't have an ego. So one thing you need to see in an Anāgami is that whether he is friendly, whether he is straightforward, whether he is upright, whether his talks are pleasing, good, whether he is innocent. That means to say that he is very modest in his way. That means he is so soft that anybody can understand. Yes.
But all these three earlier stages, they would have not be completely humble, right? They will have mana, hence they cannot be humble.
So we are talking about Anāgami.
But even Anāgami cannot be completely humble.
Not like that. That's the reason the last one is Anatimani. Yes, mana, but not atimana. Right? So, Buddhu is that a person seems very innocent, very soft, not soft spoken. It's just a softness, as softness. So, if you are treating me as an Anāgami, you need to see this. Simple. Then you can know for yourself whether I will have a womb birth or not, or you will have a womb birth or not. If you think you are an Anāgami, this is the right place to check. Okay. And no excessive mana, no excessive pride, no excessive ego. Ego is there, but not excessive ego. Excessive ego in the sense that projecting that I know everything. And also, one second. Also that I not only have an ego, but I feel very proud, pride. That's what brings in anatiman. Okay. Then the next, santusako. Okay, that is santusta is contented. Sakko is one who feels whatever he has is good enough. Okay, doesn't hanker to collect more. It doesn't mean if somebody gives, he will not take it. He will take it, but that doesn't mean that he's expecting anything from it. Subharocha. That is Subha is good. Subharo is or auspicious. Subharo is one who can support himself at ease, meaning food, shelter, clothing, medicines, 4 requisite. He is able to support. In the earlier days, people used to go and beg, and for the bhikkhus, the lay people used to give. Nowadays, you can't do that. So, you as an Anāgami, or I as an Anāgami, need to support. You work in a way that it supports your livelihood of food, shelter, clothing, medicine, four requisites. And hence, you can spend a lot of time on dhamma. So, appakichosa salla ukavutti. Appakicho is that not too many duties in the day. Because now you can spend time on dhamma. After you have got four requisites, the only thing you can do is dhamma practice. And salla ukavutti. Salla is like salleka is austerity. Sallaka utavutti is vritti is work, job, which will bring the salla, that is austerity, practice. So take the job which can enhance your practice. Don't take a job which will make you greedy. That's the meaning of it. So if it's an Anāgami, then it is santu sakocha subarocha appakichocha salla ukavutti. And his faculties, his indriyas, santa indriya, that is, they are not going behind the object. So this exactly falls in place with indriya sambara. And hence he is not nipaka. Paka in Indian languages means to prepare. Like when you come here, Aryu will show you what is a paka. So we put sugar, we put water, and we heat it. It becomes like a thick liquid. Now, unless you put it in the mouth and taste it, you will not know what it is, but you can't see the bottom. Nipaka is one who has not prepared anything. So you can see the bottom of that person. That means he doesn't mince, doesn't modify anything. Okay. So, appagabbo kulesu anunagiddho. That is, he's not too proud about his family tree, basically. And also kulesu anunagiddho. That is, he's from this clan. I'm from that clan, and I'm this and that. All those naming conventions are not there. Nachakuddam achare kinchi ena vinyu pare upavadeyum. That is, he will do things which will not bring him a blame from those who are arhats. Or let's say somebody is an Anāgami, and then he says that how can an Anāgami act like this? So even a small tint or a taint is not there. So that being there, now he is ready to pass this merit to all the beings. Sukhino va khemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Now my question comes at what if I am still a Sotapan? Can I not recite it? Yes, you can. If I am a Sakadagami, can I not recite it? Yes. Yeah. You can look at how you can develop these ability or the characteristics or the features, attributes, whatever we can call in English, in yourself. For that, the first thing is Indriya Sambara. We are able to do it, and then you turn Anāgami very like this. Now I can, if I am an Anāgami, what I can do is I can now sit and look at all the sattva. Its meaning is sattva in Sanskrit, which is, there's no proper meaning in English. We can call it as being, but sattva is more than a being. Sattva means essence. all those beings who are here have an essence. They think they have an essence. Now I'm passing that merit to all of them without any judgment, any kind of prejudice, any kind of judgment or anything like that. Because I am also a satta, right? So considering that, I am passing the merit. So I pass the merit for myself because I am all of that what is indicated above, and hence I am passing the merit. I'm passing the metta. What metta? Sukha. What sukha? Nibbana. Now I have to consider what are the types of satta, or sattva, or essence, or beings. So the first one is pana bhutatti. That is, pana is breathing, prana. Bhuta is which has become. So like this has become. There are yet to be become, and this is become. Bhuta is to become. Tathava thavarava anavasesa. They are thasava, thavarava. Thavara is stable. Asava is trembling. Anything that is trembling, from a creeper to anything to humans to animals to whatever, it's trembling. True, firm and stable. Or anavasesa. Vasesa stands for visesa, which is special. Anavasesa is other than these two, other than the trembling kind and the firm kind, any other beings. Let me pass this merit. Let me pass this loving kindness. Let me pass this sukha. Why? Because I have found way to not enter into the womb. It is painful. So now without prejudice, I am sending it because anything which comes into the womb goes into death. That means Mara just follows that person, that being, that whatever beings that they are. And what are the types of being that they are? So then I can say Dhiga, long. Dhiga va ye mahanta va. Mahanta is very big. Majjhima rasaka anu athula. Thula is fat. So Majjhima is medium. Rasaka is short. Anu is atomic. Anukathula, fat. Dhitta va yeva adhitta. Can be seen, not be seen. Dure vasanti avidure. They are far away or they are very near. Bhutava sambhavesiva. They have become already. They have taken shape in the womb. And there are yet to take shape in the womb. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhi tatta. Now, why it is important this way? Because I first create the first phase of the four Brahma Viharas is loving kindness, metta. And as soon as I make this first phase, side phase, karuna gets developed. Left hand side, I feel very compassionate because anything that gets into the womb has to go through this cycle of existence. And once they are out of the womb, again they have to go through the womb. A continuous process. So there is no respite. There is no benefit. So the sukha, they don't know. So now I am able to pass the sukha to others. Why? Because I don't have prejudice. What I am seeing is the suffering. So in suffering, you can't be very much prejudiced. If you are finding somebody is very happy, then I might get into prejudice. But when I see everybody is suffering, there cannot be any prejudice. So I get karuna. And because I have the metta in the front and karuna in the left, mudita, appreciative joy for who is working on the dhamma as humans or deva or whatever. I feel glad because they're trying to escape this suffering. Coming into the cage is not good. This is a cage. This body is the cage. Because you are seen. And when you are seen, you have to deal with hunger, thirst, clothing, medicine. And stay as a human. Otherwise, as an animal, they are on the road. And keep on hunting for food. So, with all of these categories being there, what's the point in doing nikubeta, cheating? Why should I cheat? And why should they cheat? It's suffering over suffering. Right? First of all, we are suffering coming out of the womb. And then again, by cheating, we are suffering more. Na ati manyeta kata na kanchi. In the mind, manyeta. Mana, that is chitta mano, manasan, that mana. I identify that this person is bad. So I despise. And as an Anāgami, there's nothing to be done. Na ati manyet kattachina kanchi. So doesn't despise anyone or any living beings wherever they exist. And because of that, there is no vyarosana, patikasanya. That is, he doesn't have irritation, agitation, anger, all of that. Na anyam anyasya dukkham ichcheya. Intending that somebody should suffer right now. Because the suffering he is giving it to me, that I want him also to suffer. That wouldn't be there. Ichcheya, dukkham ichcheya. Now you see, the next line proves for itself. If the person has reached Anāgami, you can't make him lose this. Is Mata yata niyam puttam ayusa ekam puttam anurakhi. For that person, he can't see any beings separated out of himself. So one of the key attribute or a feature of an Anāgami is that he will see everyone like his own child. No matter how hard they are, how harsh they are, how worse they are, how honest they are, how prejudiced they are, how they insult or whatever they do. Doesn't feel anything because he says any being coming in a moment it is dying. And hence no point in worrying over it and hating. So when I am able to do like this, considering like every being to be my child, only child, keeping it very close to my heart, then what happens? Evampi sabbabhutesu manasambhavaye aparimanam. So now manasambhavaye aparimanam is expanding beyond this mana in the mano. So now I don't have distinction between ajjatta bahidda, all are the same. And because of that, I get into mettancha sabba lokasme mana sambhavaye aparimanam. So now I can send it all the all the 10 directions. So when I send it through 10 direction, buddham adocha tiriyancha asambhavam averam asapattam. Now I don't have any enmity, any barriers, hate, jealousy, anything like that. In postures, tittam charam nisinnova, sayanova yavatassa vigatamiddu. I don't have any kind of laziness in any one of the postures of standing, walking, sitting, lying for that for long as it doesn't have any sluggishness or torpor. Etam satim adhitteya brahmametam viharam idam ahuhu. So he should be in the sati, and adhitthana means determination, so that he is one loving kindness to karuna, the mudita. Fourth one get developed, which is upekha, which is equanimity. Now you are in the Brahma realm of existence. Dittincha anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. Without going near a wrong view. Wrong view is I always exist and I don't exist in absolute sense. Both are wrong views. Silava dassanena sampanno. So he has maintained his sila, so his samadhi is stable, and hence he got the panya. So then the panya is there. Now he is liberated out of abhijjan vyapada. And because of that, kamesu vinaya gedham ahijatu gabhaseya punaram. And because of that, having removed greed towards sense pleasures, he cannot come back to this womb existence anymore. So if you were to recite this, just as a normal person, as a Sotapanna or a Sakadagami, then because of this safeguard, the beings will not harm you in terms of getting you fearful sight. And by practicing it diligently night and day, person sleeps happy. He doesn't get any news which is hard, and also it doesn't see anything which is bad. Evam adi gunopetam parittam tam bhanamahe. These are the qualities of an Anāgami, and once you recite it in this way, it safeguards. So that's the end of Karaniya Metta Sutta. Short one, but I thought, been talking about consciousness, I thought it would be good to do that. I'm done. Any questions, comments, or how to practice, etc., you can take it. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
I have a small question. So lately, when you talk about Anāgami, you said abhijja and vyapada, but usually it's say kamachanda, right? So
Both.
I wonder.
Both are the
So,
same.
so abhijja can only happen for a kama. It cannot happen for jhana and all that stuff.
Right. That is rupa raga. That's a separate thing.
Okay, okay, but it cannot be abhijja.
If you look at the Chunda Sutta, in Anguttara Nikaya 8.89, somewhere like that, he explains what is abhijja. Whatever one other possesses, this person feels that it should be his, which is part of kamachanda. And since his senses are restrained, there is no kamachanda. Even if you were to take that, kamachanda and vyapada, is the restraining of senses, the senses don't go and graze wherever they want.
Not even a tendency to go there. No,
No.
not even being is necessary.
Yeah, so that's the reason I had asked you, when you bring those goodies, you should see what happens in my mind. Whatever you're bringing as dana or donation or whatever you're bringing, or whatever gifts you're bringing, that incites passion in a person when he has kamachanda. That means if he is a sakadagami, he loves it. There's nothing wrong with it. He's not stolen or done anything. He's genuinely taking it. But there is an interest. There's an interest, there is a thirst. Like I'm waiting desperately to see you on Monday. Not because I'm meeting Ariyu. Ariyu is bringing so many items for me. That parillaha, thirst, is not going to be there in an Anāgami. And hence, there is no prejudice. Prejudice will come when you have kama chanda or abhijja. He has more, I have less, or I have more, he has less. Or I can think that, oh, Ariyu is so rich, he can keep on funding me, he can do it, so I can keep on giving you something. And you feel that, oh, I need to gift my teacher, and my teacher is asking. So there is no harm in you, but there is harm in me. Because it's not purified. Chitta is not purified. And hence, I might become nasty, I might become rough, or I can become harsh, that. And that removes the mudu, softness. So when you come here in India next week and you place before, Vilas, it's for you. Now you should see what happens. That's a keen observation. And that shows kamachanda, not abhijja, kamachanda. Like that. Or what Anusha has gifted, or what anyone has gifted, and then what happens after that is the question. Yes.
And I was just earlier when I was listening, the question, the mana, right? I was saying there's mana even in Anāgami. It's adimana.
Atimana.
I guess adimana, because the Anāgami doesn't take this, person, this projector as real. Hence, it doesn't get to excessive amount.
No, the mana here, atimana, will be there in Sotapanna and Sakadagami, because they have come on the path. When they are on the path and they know that somebody is not on the path, they would like to push them on the path, because that is atimana. Whereas an Anāgami doesn't have that. he has a genuine concern that if they were to get into the path, it is good for them, but he doesn't have atimana. When I was a sotapanna, let's say I was pushing people, saying that, hey, why don't you join? Why don't you join? It is good. That's atimana. It's good for them. I definitely agree, but then it's a mana. So it's atimana. So when it's atimana, it has a limitation, meaning it has, when the other person hears to it, he sees that why this person is pushing me so much. There should be something. Any comments from any other? So that's how you practice Karaniya Metta Sutta. First, you need to recite and you need to reflect on each line. Karaniyam atta kusalena yantam santam padam abhisamiccha. Like that. So then see whether you have these. So with Indriya Samvara, I am doing this. So then I become a Sakka friend of everyone. Like that, I need to check. So if you don't have any further questions, then we good to end.
When Sachin is not here, there's not that many questions.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Even Anusha can ask, Reyes can ask, anybody can ask. Otherwise, Ashutosh is there, so he's not also asking. That means he's comfortable.
Sir, I have just joined, so I don't know.
No, we were talking about Karaniya Metta Sutta, how it should be recited. So I recited it completely, and I was going through each one of that, and you joined.
So, what is the difference between Kaimanya Sutta and Metta Bhavana Sutta? Both are same or both are different?
Karaniya Metta Sutta is from an Anāgami point of view, and Metta Sutta is from every person's point of view, which is including an Arhat. Every Puggala, 8 types of Puggala. That's what the Metta Bhavana Sutta or Metta Sutta is all about.
So, suppose we are not yet achieved the state of Anāgami, like we are
That's
not.
correct. No, that's
So,
correct.
what should we?
No. First round, when you do, you'll become a Sotapanna if you were to do all that what he said there. You practice, you develop those qualities or the attributes, then you will turn Sotapanna by only this sutta. No other sutta is required because you will get a experiential faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha and your sila will get completely established.
So, only this sutta is enough to attain the state of Anāgami.
Yes, basically yes. That's what it says, no? Last line. Nahi jatu gabbaseyam punare iti. Good question. So not knowing Paticca Samutpada and all that. Yeah. Now what happens when he starts doing this? He will get into all of that. It's not recitation. So if we take that, if you only keep on reciting and we turn into Anāgami, that's a false thing. So the question comes then, how do I become Karaniya Metta? Karaniyam Atta Kusalena. So you have to do Kusala. That means you have to remove Akusala. So you have to then start with sila. Then the samadhi will start. So once the samadhi starts, then you will automatically get into paticsamutpada. And you'll see the dukkha when you establish. And hence you are able to see like a mother who is having only one child. Mata yata niyam puttam ayusa ekam puttam anurakhi. Etam sabba bhutesu mana sambhavaye aparimanam. So this one shouldn't be construed that, oh, this only if I keep on reciting this, I'll turn into an Anāgami. No. This is for those people who would love to recite. There are many people for whom Gatha or Paritta helps a lot. Their mind is not stable. It goes in different directions. So for them, this is a very good thing to do. To at least get a Sotapatti Magga Phala. But by practicing exactly what is written there in terms of the qualities, developing those qualities will make him an Anāgami. Yes, Aryu.
I guess by practicing this, you keep on purifying the chitta of any vyapada that comes.
Yes.
So, and then you keep, I mean, for metta to happen, you apparently have to see the dukkha. So you keep on seeing more and more dukkha, and you remove the vyapada. And
Yes, exactly.
So, Vilasji, is it something similar to then how Jesus was talking about spreading love all the time?
Yes. So if you look at Jesus, where he was not bothered about people talking nonsense about him, or even when he was on the cross, he never had any hatred. He never had any sign of, even though he was in pain, he was taking pain for others. And hence he turned an Anāgami. Or he was an Anāgami, to be honest. Yes.
but what about arahat? It's possible to be an arahat?
I don't know, can be possible. At least from the way he is, from the way he is, Anagami is 100%. Yes.
So I guess I have a slight confusion about this anagami versus, let's say, a Brahma state of mind. So a person in the Brahma state of mind will also have all these qualities. Well, I guess not exactly per Karniya Metta Sutta, but I mean this loving and seeing everyone as child and all these qualities. But I guess I'm wondering, can he, let's say, he's reached this state of mind, but have not reached anagami as per Buddha's path. So let's say I guess I'm wondering, when let's say Jesus is being tortured, if he was not anagami, then this vyapada will somehow come up.
Yes.
But if only when he's actually a anagami, even per the Buddhist standard, then this will never come. This will not come even when tortured.
And that's what you could see on his face, or even the Bible says about it. So it might not exactly say like what all did he do in terms of Buddha teachings, that we don't know, right? But from his attitude, from his qualities, You can see that he was not perturbed by Romans torturing him. And they made him an idol after he resurrected himself. That clearly shows that no arhat can resurrect because they have eliminated the need for existence. Take the case of Mahamoggallan. They hit him so much that he died. But he did not come back to show that, look, I am back here.
So you mentioned that as a indication that he has not reached the arhat.
But he would not come back into the womb existence forever.
Thiruvan Saranai Vilasji, I have a question.
Sure.
Maybe not related directly to the Karaniyametta Kusalena Sutra. Is like now these Anāgamis, once they they go to the Brahma world, right?
Mhm.
Now, if a person from earth pray or think about it, or can they hear, or can they feel, or
Okay, now the very good question. Even now you can feel. If you are meeting an real Anāgami, your heart will feeling that vibration. And the same way they can feel the vibration.
yeah? So the Anāgami who is living now can, but I'm talking about
It's the same. It's the same, right? Because they don't find any separation. Correct? In their mind, they don't have any separation, any kind of prejudice, any kind of comparison between the small and the big and large and like that. So they are always filled with love. Now, if the person's mind is tuned, let's say I am tuned in all the 10 directions, then I can take that and also pass. Yes, are you?
I guess if you think about a past person who was Anagami, and whenever you bring his into the mind, you directly tune into his channel. So whatever you're thinking gets through to him in that way. And
Yes.
because he's always open anyways, so he can
Yes.
receive.
So let's take an example. Okay. So now I read about Jesus, the last, from the Last Supper to what all happened. And then I feel so much for Jesus. And that connects, right? And you'll feel exactly the same. You experience this exactly the same as an Anagami at that point in time.
Oh, so that's why a lot of the devotional path works.
Yes, absolutely. That's how it works.
So these people connect with these past beings in a way that whether it's an actual being or is that at least that vibration.
That's what he says, right? Ditavaya aditta, ye chadure vasanti avidure. Bhutava sambhave siva, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Right? Yes.
Now the trickier question is if you think about arhat, would they be able to?
Wait. Let me read what Anusha has written. But if I not connect to Sariyut, you mean to say Sariputta or Moggallana?
Same question. Same question.
I think it's the same one that Aryu was asking.
Yeah. Okay, now the complexity of an arhat. I have to go by Buddha's last words. I have given the dhamma to you. Yo dhammam pasati so mam pasati. Don't search for me in anywhere. in any realm you'll not find me. That answers your question, I think so.
Yes, thank you. So basically, these people worshipping the Buddha, he can't hear. But what you're saying is, if we do worship to an Anāgami, they can be connected, correct?
Yes, because they're still there in some existence which is below the 4 arupa, right?
So you should pray to a lesser one. Right?
Not like that. See, now I have put a photograph of Buddha. This is my view of the Buddha. It's my view of the Buddha, right? Now, where should I find the Buddha? In the Dhamma, not in there, the Dhamma. So if I'm able to decipher, investigate, understand the Sutta, it's Buddha talking to me, right? And that's the reason he tells to Ananda. He says, you're going away, then how should we pray the Buddha? He says, yo dhammam pasati, so mam pasati. I've given you the entire, I have not, he even says, before dying, he says that I have not even kept a small portion with myself. I've given all that I had. Appamadena sampadeta. Now you tell me, why should you go and worship a statue of the Buddha? Where has he told that you worship my statue? Yes, Aryu.
I guess in the sense, these, let's say, Anagami who went into the Brahma realm, they can be seen as certain vibration, let's say.
That's it.
Right? It may not be like a being that has a mind and doing all that stuff, right? So it's a certain vibration. So when you pray to them versus pray to Buddha, whoever you pray to, so whatever you can tune your mind to the purity of their, to the extent that you understand about their purity, you can tune your mind to that channel, and you get the benefit from having tuned
Right.
to that.
Correct. So what does Buddha says is that in many of the suttas, he says what is Buddha, right? So he says iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho, like that, right? So I am supposed to be worshipping that. Symbolically, I have put a Buddha stone or plastic or gold or silver or whatever that is, symbolically. Because my mind is not yet ready for iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddha. That it is not yet ready. So I'm going by that, or by that photograph, or even by the Jinapanjara Sutta. So my mind is not that matured, ready. What if my mind is completely matured and ready? Would I still require it? It's a clutches, because I'm not able to walk. I'm holding on to it. Now, once I'm able to walk, why should I require the clutches? So if I want to see the Buddha, where should I see? I should see it in these attributes. Iti piso bhagava arham samma sambuddho vidya charana sampanno. Now that I need to know what is the vidya, what is the charana, and I exactly need to follow what he has done. So he has sila, indriya samvara, bhojana matyanutta, jagaryanuyoga. These are the 4 things of the charana dhamma to begin with. Then saddha, sati, bahusaccha, hiri, vattappa, virya, panya. And then 4 jhanas. If I'm able to do all of that, Then I have elevated my mind to the level. And that is my experiential knowledge or faith about Buddha. So now I understood about Buddha, I've understood Dhamma and understood Sangha. So I don't require that photograph. Yes.
Yes, I'm just thinking when you bring these qualities of the Buddha in the mind, and then you pray to the Buddha. I mean, whether it's Anāgami or Buddha, or anyways, they're always compassionate anyways. So whoever prayed to them, the equal energy is returned of compassion and loving
The
kindness.
energy is always energy of the Brahma Vihara is always there. We are
Yes,
not
yes,
able to tap it. Now by this you are tapping it.
yes. That's what I was thinking about. So by bringing these qualities to mind, and you pray to them, and you basically, giving the same loving kindness to yourself by giving that energy, and it comes back to you.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Shreyas. So now you have 98.4 FM. FM is not tuning to your radio. You are tuning your radio to FM channel 98.4. So the Anāgami or Arhat or whoever, whatever that is not going to tune to this body's frequency and say this mind's frequency. And then, Vilas is waiting, so I need to tune to this frequency. No, Vilas has to tune to that frequency through the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And when it matches with that frequency, then I experience what is Anāgami. If I tune to another frequency, is lower in frequency, then I experience what is Sakatagami. If I even more reduce the frequency, I will experience what is Sotapanna. If I purify completely like the light we have been talking about, then Arhat. Now once Arhat, you can't put any light in any color on that. But that doesn't mean that there's no energy of them. But it's extinguished. That's exactly the question is being asked in 10 different ways. What are the 10 different ways? Sasatta loka, asatta loka, tam jivam, tam shariram, anya jivam, anya shariram. Tathagata exists after death, parammarana. Tathagata doesn't exist after parammarana. Why? This is the same question. Can we access Buddha after death? Does Tathagata exist and also doesn't exist after death? Because we require absolute answers. Right? This is the question. You look at Aggivacha Vatta Sutta. It's called tetralemma. So we have the same doubt now, like the Aggivachas or Vachagotta. Should I go through that for the benefit? And also go through Buddha's answer to each one of them? Shreya says yes. Okay. What's the sutta number? Any idea? Otherwise, MN 72. So, satto loko idam satyam mogamanyamti. What it really means is that the loka exists. Asasatto loko, second one. Antava loko, anantava loko. World is finite, loka is finite, and loka is infinite. Tam jivam tam sariram. Jiva is life form, sarira is body. Life form and the body are the same thing. Anyam jivam, anyam sariram. The life form and the body are two different things. Hoti tatagato param marana. This is where our question is. Can we still access the Buddha? Na hoti tatagato param marana. Does he not exist then? So that means, like what Ari was saying, so that means we have to pray the lower one, which is Anāgami. Right? Or, I don't know. So, hoti chana hoti tatagato param marana. He exists and both he doesn't exist at the same time. Neva hoti nana hoti tatagato param marana. This is neva sanya na sanya ayatana. A realized one neither exists nor doesn't exist after death. And for all of them, Buddha says that's not my view. And Vachagota goes mad and he says that for each one of these you said no. So he says this you remember in your life. Satto lokoti ko vacha ditti gatametam ditti gahanam ditti kantaro ditti visukam ditti vipanditam ditti samyojanam sadukam sadukham savighatam sapayasam sa upayasam sa parillaham na nibiddaya na viragaya na rinodhaya na upasamaya na abhinyaya na sambodhaya na nibbanaya samvattati. This, you take a print, put it on your wall or computer or wherever.
And in MN63, he also talks about this, but with the poison arrow example.
Correct. So now, the last question. Evam vimuchito panabho Gotama bhikkhu kuhim upajjati. But Master Gotama, when a bhikkhu's mind is freed like that, where are they reborn? Upapajjati kho vacha na upeti. Their reborn doesn't apply vacha. Tena hi bho Gotama na upapajjati. Well then, are they not reborn? They are not reborn doesn't apply vacha. Na upapajjati kho vacha na upeti. Well then, are they both reborn and not reborn? Again, the same problem, right? You say it doesn't apply. I fail to understand this point, Master Gautama. I have fallen into confusion. And I'm now lost even the degree of clarity I had from the previous discussion with Master Gautama. And Buddha says, Alan te vacha anya anye alam sammohaya. No wonder you're confused. For this principle is deep, hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, sublime, beyond the scope of logic, subtle, comprehensible to the astute. Gambhiro hayam vacha dhammo dudaso Duranubodho, Santo, Panito, Ataka Vacharo, Nipuno, Pandita Vedaniyo. And then he talks about the Aggi, fire. Right? The reason why I'm bringing this up to you is that at present we have landed in confusion. Can I access Buddha? What would be your answer?
I think we can access the energy of the Buddha when we.
No, no, absolutely not. Then you have to ask the Buddha, why did he say like that to Vachagotta? So Buddha can only be accessed in the Dhamma. Domino's pizza.
That's what I was thinking through the Itipizzo Bhagava. You can access the energy of the Buddha.
No, you can access the Dhamma and the quality of the Buddha, which you can develop and become an arhat. But there's nothing called as an energy of the Buddha because he is extinguished. You see the last one. The fire in front of me is extinguished. Supposing the fire burn in front of you, what would you know? But Vacha, suppose they were to ask you, this fire in front of you is extinguished. In what direction did it go? East, south, north, west? How would you answer? In the same way, Vacha, any form by which realized one might be described have been cut off at root, made like palm stump, obliterated and unable to arise in the future. A realized one is free from reckoning in terms of form. They are deep, immeasurable, and hard to fathom like the ocean. They are reborn, they are not reborn, they are both reborn and not reborn. They are neither reborn nor reborn. None of these apply. Any feeling, any perception, any sankharas, and last, any consciousness. Also. So, Mr. Aryu, you have a wrong view of the Buddha, like Vachagotta. Yes.
Okay, so how would you explain this when you put a Buddha in front of me and you talk to him? Hey Buddha, I want to do something, give me the
Yes,
Dhamma.
so you're doing like Jina Panjara. You are establishing it in your mind because the mind is going and feeding on to unnecessary things. So you're creating that because of your belief in the Buddha. And once the belief turns into a faith, you don't require it.
But in your case, I think you experienced putting the Buddha in front of you and asking him to, be the teacher.
Because
and
I was tired. Because I was tired of finding which teacher is good for me. Should I go and look at the Vaharaka or a pure Dhamma or this or that or whatever? So I just prayed the Buddha saying that, hey boss, it's your Dhamma. Tell me how I should understand. And it started working. It's not because of the Buddha. It's because of the conditions it started working. I put on the proper conditions, so it started working.
So it's more about the mindset, the state of mind you put yourself into rather than.
Yes. Anusha, go ahead.
Sorry, I think today I'm asking many questions.
No, please. You can ask as many as you want.
Thank you, Vilasji. And now this is something I experienced when I went to Bodhigaya. Near the Bodhigaya Bo tree, I could literally feel the energy there.
Yes.
So what was that?
That's a good question. So now what happens here is, and that's the reason I'm taking Aryu to both Gaya and Shreyas also. Okay. Now, what is that? That place is filled with a lot of people who have meditated. On a daily basis, you will at least have hundreds, thousands of people sitting and meditating in below the Bodhi tree or near the Bodhi tree or that whole vicinity. So when you have such a thing, you can harness the energy, and all of them think that they are getting the Buddha power because they have not read the Vachagotta Sutta. But it's not bad to do that also because you require it and it works. Magician is Vinyana. So you have the projection and the projector. So the projector is giving you that experience by projecting Buddha out there. And the mind picks up that frequency and feels satisfied. And even otherwise, there are so many meditators, and by now there are so many arhats. After Buddha, they have gone there and they have prayed, they have meditated in that very spot. So those energies would be there, not as an arhat, not as a Buddha, not as a Samma Sambuddha, but anything other than that will be anyway be there. Did I at least attempt to answer your question, Anusha?
I understand it now very much. Thank you, Vilasji. I was thinking about it. You have answered it. Excellent. Thank you.
So I'm taking Aryu and Shreyas to that very place so that they can experience what you experienced in Bodh Gaya. And hence I didn't wanted Aryu to spend more time in Bangalore. So I want him to have tearful India tour from the time he arrives to the time he goes back. With tearful not in the sense of sadness, in terms of joy. And I would like him to have that a nice tearful thing happening and transforming him into whatever he wants it to be. So I want him to get that aha moment, wow moments, and experience. Same thing with Shreyas. I don't want to only pick up on Aryu, but both of them coming together. That's what I feel as a person I should help them. So from 3rd till 8th of July, I want both of them to exactly experience what is Buddha Dhamma. Which makes them feel really memorable. Even though Shreyas stays very close to my home and Aryu is coming all the way from US, I have no distinction between Shreyas is next door, so let him suffer, and Aryu is coming all the way from United States bringing so much of goodies, so he should benefit. No, both should benefit. Or if any other person would have joined, I have been asking Ashutosh, since he stays in Bihar, if he can make it, it will be good. We can pick him up from Patna airport and done with it. But whoever joins me, I want them to experience the Buddha Dhamma in full. And Anusha, you are right. Even I have had a good experience when I went with Asanta 5 years ago. Both there. And I was telling him as it is happening. I don't know how far he understood or he could penetrate, but I was telling him whatever was happening to me. I said, you can do like this. So I want Aryu to, and Shreyas or anyone joining, to experience the same thing. So I'm going to take to the places where I have got experience. So I'm going to put them in the same place. Yeah, they will experience energy. They can also experience my energy. So I am also sitting there.
Yeah, Shreyas has said that your home feels different itself.
Yeah, when you come home, you'll see. So you can vouch because he feels the same. But Anusha, you have not come to my home. He's talking about my home. On the phone. Oh, yeah.
So whatever agitation or like let's say vitaka vichara that you have, as soon as you, I guess even like you just face the door of his house or you just put your one foot inside the house, it'll all just go away. You'll just be calm. That's kind of anticlimactic for me because I usually visit his place to discuss things. I have questions and I want to discuss things. I want answers from him. But as soon as I step in, all the questions are gone. So it's a little anticlimactic, but it's
Yeah.
awesome. It's a great experience.
Ashutosh, if you can join, it'll be good. Like we were pressing Matt to join. So I'm pressing Ashutosh to join. And he is giving one or the other excuses. Let's see.
One,
Yeah, Ashutosh, we can't hear you.
let me know. I want to try, but I'm going to the bathroom of one conversation there.
Yeah. I know that. I know that. Yeah, Ashutosh is going for a 30-day Vipassana retreat. And there is Manjusha from Geneva or wherever she's staying there. And she is coming into India month of August. That's when he's also going to meet her. So I've told him to meet her. And I have to tell her to meet him because they both are going to be in the same retreat. This is a 30-day retreat. And Sachin wanted to do a 20-day retreat. So these two people are going to do a 30-day retreat. So I'm waiting for them to come back and say, how was the experience? Because of that, he has the problem. He has told me that, but I'm still squeezing his hand, saying that, hey, you come, it's okay, you come. So, okay, so shall we end then? It's almost 1 o'clock here. All done? And see you at 8:30 in the evening tomorrow. Today we are not going to have, anyway, we have finished it. So, Monday evening. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thiruvan Saranai, thank you.
Yeah, Tervan Sarnai, Anusha, bye-bye.